going where no other Saudi woman has ever gone. On May the 18th, Raha Maharak climbed into the history books, becoming the first woman from Saudi Arabia to stand at the top of the world.
When I finally got there, in my mind I kept thinking 75–80% people die on the way down. Okay, so I was thinking, okay, celebrate but not too much because you still need to get down. So I got there, and when you realize that you can see the curvature of the earth, it hits you even more like, oh my god, let's get down.
How cold was it?
It was very cold. It was minus 45–50 wind chill that day.
The triumph was part of Arabs with Altitude, a history-making expedition documented for a series airing on Qatar television on September the 10th. It traces the team's path from training in the Arabian desert to scaling ice cliffs and crossing crevices on their journey to Everest. Challenge enough, but for 27-year-old Raha, to even pursue mountaineering meant breaking a taboo in an ultra-Orthodox country where sport was only officially permitted in private girls' schools this year. Her first step, convincing her father to let her climb Kilimanjaro.
I told him the idea, and he was like, you want to do what? Very interesting, Habibti. Why don't you leave it till you get married, you know? And I have the highest respect for my dad, so I was fuming. So I went back home. Being severely dyslexic, you can imagine how long it took me to write this long, rambling email why you should let me climb Kilimanjaro. And I was so scared of his reaction, because it had lines like, you raised me and taught me to aim for greatness. Why are you telling me I have to wait for a ring? And he did not call or reply for 3 days. And I thought, oh my God, what did I do?
And they've been incredibly supportive, your parents.
Amazing, amazing. Right after the 3 days of hell silence to me, he sent me one line. I love you, you're crazy, go for it.
Everest has been just one of several expeditions Raha has undertaken in the past 2 years, but it's been the toughest.
People underestimate that mountain greatly. In my case, people were like, oh, you shouldn't be on the mountain. I didn't take offense, because I just started climbing in November 2011. They don't know I did 8 mountains in a year. They don't know that. They don't know I did an intense training in Seattle to do that. And I understand why they'd look at me and be like, well, you know, and someone actually said that. What's Barbie doing on the mountain? And then I said, don't let the Disney princess hair fool you. And I just walked away and then saw them on the way down when I summited. Hi, did you see my rock? You know, my way of telling them, don't, you know, stereotype.
Yeah! Nice job!
Was there any time that you ever thought, I can't do this, I'm going to give up?
No. I never throughout Everest felt like I was going to give up, but I did feel worried that I was going to freeze up there. I was worried that, and I promised my dad, because after he accepted me going to Everest, he said, can you promise you can come back to me? But it's really hard to try to keep yourself focused and block out all of the agonizingly cold.
How did you keep yourself focused?
Honestly, the fact that my parents chose to live in absolute horror for 2 months, and my dad fighting for me, for what I want to, my dream, was a hell of an incentive, to be honest.
فخور بما تعمل، هي فخور تماما بما تعمل لنفسها ولأسرتها ولبلدها، فليس أمامي غير الدعاء لها الله يوفقها إن شاء الله تعالى السعدية.
I know in the past you've talked about not wanting the responsibility on your shoulders for the sort of future of all Saudi women, but quite frankly, you've got it.
I did not set out to do this movement. I didn't set out to be a poster child to anything. I saw a mountain, I wanted to climb it. I'm honored that I'm in history, but I don't think it would mean anything if it doesn't change anything. You know, yeah, so I was the first Saudi woman, but if I'm the last, then would that really, would I care if I'm in history? No.
What happens next?
What
are you going to put your dad through next?
Oh my God, poor man! Like my mom as well. Like she's being very understanding, and she tries to hide it, but sometimes she loses her cool. Like when I called to tell her I summited, first of all, I lost contact. They knew I summited from the media, and it was just all over the place. And then I finally called my dad. I'm like, Daddy, I did it. Oh my God. He's like, I'm so proud of you. Baba was amazing. ما أعرف أشرح لك. I can't wait to tell you about it. When you hear my mom in the background, all 10 fingers in the background yelling, does she have all 10? She's so excited. Congratulations! And she never let the culture change, you know, her acceptance of me.